thing I'm going to say over and over again, and you'll hear it on the tape, is this is not about your symptoms. This is about your relationship to the symptoms. We are not changing your symptoms. We are changing how you relate to them. Then these other two things we'll be doing at the end of this whole section. So their frame of reference when they walk into your office is, this is serious, this is dangerous. We're going to shift them to, in one way or another, this is a mental game. What I'm going to say, in essence, is it will be the most pragmatic for us to think about this treatment as though it is a mental game. Obviously, it's very serious. This is harmful to you, blah, blah, blah. But how do we shape it up in order to make a change? You can look later on this slide about what the advantages are of perceiving things as a game. If they approach the problem in terms of this is serious, meaning the content that I'm thinking about is serious. If they approach it that way, then they're going to do this. Fearful thought pops up. I'm going to take it seriously. I got to get rid of my doubt. I got to get rid of my distress. If we move over here to the mental game, I'm going to suggest that they be thinking like this. The content's not relevant. I want to be uncertain, and I want to be distressed. Instead of doing a hierarchy of fears and working our way from the lower fear up to the larger fear until they catch on, if we can do it whole cloth, it's like taking a step, leaving this frame. I understand why you have this frame of reference. I'd probably have it too if I had the symptoms you did, and it's not working for you. Let's consider stepping over here. Let's see if we can do some experiments to see if this is going to help you. But all the things we're going to do is to try to see whether, does this make sense? And for some people, it will be like flipping a switch on, that they understand how to do it. That's why I said some people are up like a phoenix. So the anxiety disorder comes into the game acting as though she's the official. Here's how you play this game. I'm going to give you some really scary worries, and what you're supposed to do is back up, run away, avoid, brace yourself, get ready to fight. So what is wrong with resisting doubt and discomfort? Because that's what this is. Uncertainty, doubt, and the distress that comes with doubt. What's wrong with resisting that? Here's Eckhart Tolle. You cannot argue with the present. Well, you can, but you will suffer. Because this is the present moment. Now, I can sit here and accept the present moment, or I can go, damn, why did God do this to me? Once again, this day is sucking. How am I going to do it? All this resistance is wasting consciousness. Miller said, right, with a conscious mind can only hold on to 7 plus or minus 2 chunks of information at any one moment. He was wrong. This is further research we've discovered you can only hold on to 4 chunks of information at any one moment. So to the degree that I'm using up consciousness, being upset that I'm having this experience, I'm using up consciousness that could be used to manage the present situation. What's the number way to manage the present situation? Be there with it and hang out with it, as opposed to doing anything, right? This is not, don't just sit there, do something. Very often the motto is, don't just do something, sit there. What do we know about OCD? They cannot conceive any way other than their compulsion to get rid of the obsession. One of the things we will show them, teach them, is the intervention is to do nothing. And the obsession goes away. Do nothing. Maybe I'll tell you about that later. Chinese proverb, to be uncertain is to be uncomfortable, but to be certain is to be ridiculous. So this is how we want to begin to make some inroads in the game board. And we're going to, this is a very reductionistic view of, for instance, people's intentions. You've got to have intentions that are larger than the fear. But in the moment, getting to the present moment, my intention is to do the opposite and seek out the opposite of what the anxiety disorder needs. So what I am going to do is I want uncertainty. I mean, just in the graphic, you see if this is the game of uncertainty to take back my mental process, I have to seek out sitting in this territory so I can shove this guy back. And this is, you'll see later, is an aggressive approach. And some people don't like me using physical metaphors for the game, basketball or whatever, but it is physical. We're going to do something with our body, with our breathing, with our movement. So my intention is I'm going to seek out this uncertainty. My resource is not confidence. I can't have confidence in this. I have to have courage. And the definition of courage is be scared and do it anyway. And then have some faith in you, my therapist, that you know what you're talking about.